Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined today by Disney's social media police, Sean.
Ooh, a lot of people would be in trouble. I have a very short leash.
And the Disney food viral content creator, JJ.
No, I don't want to make the
He's
viral
on my
content. Oh, I would definitely be on your list. Not a doubt in my mind. Because I would just show things that you like. I'd be like, this is a Ronto wrap.
The Captain Obvious for Disney foods. This is really good. You can mobile order it.
If you have a good title for my co-host here, please send in your ideas to ReedyGeeks@gmail.com. Happy Cinco de Mayo! In today's episode, we're going to spotlight a favorite spot in the Mexican pavilion, La Cava del Tequila.
So before we get into the episode, I actually wanted to remind everybody that it is a new month, which means that there is a new contest for a hat. So if you leave a review, please a 5-star review, or my ego is too fragile. If you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, you'll be entered automatically into this contest. And at the end of the month, beginning of the following month, we're going to post on our Instagram, so make sure you're also following the Instagram to find out if you won. The hats are actually, they're really nice. I wear them even outside of the parks and just in my day-to-day. I think it's a nice win-win for everybody. Apple Podcast reviews are the lifeblood of a podcast, and this is a really easy way for us to say thank you.
And honestly, it makes us feel better.
Is the 5-star review making you feel better, or is the giving something back to somebody for like pandering to them, like please help us?
No, the actual mailing is not my favorite part, but I will say, just hearing that people other than people with our last names listening to this podcast is nice. It's nice to hear that there are other listeners out there.
I did just find out recently that my mom has listened to the podcast. So
whoa,
I didn't know she knew how to do that. Although I have to clarify with her. I don't know if she meant she's watched like the videos on Instagram, or if she has actually
listened to an episode of
the podcast, but.
My mom listens to episodes sometimes, but I don't think she's listened in a while, and I know for a fact my wife hasn't listened in a while. So I think
if she's not in the episode, she ain't listening.
No. She wants to hear, she's going to listen to me talk by choice? Absolutely not.
She gets enough of that at home.
Way too much.
It's so funny. Every Tuesday, I get like voice notes from my wife about the podcast, reactions, and her comments. She's in the car, like sending me or having Siri send me texts. Sent by Siri. Sent by Siri.
Yeah, sent by Siri.
Okay, now, boys, if you just stop carrying on, like, we just might dedicate this next song to y'all.
In honor of Cinco de Mayo, we're heading inside the Mexican Pavilion at Epcot to spotlight one of the smallest but most in-demand spots in all of Walt Disney World, La Cava del Tequila. Was started as a tucked-away corner carved out of the pavilion, has turned into a destination in its own right. We're going to walk through how it got there, who made it happen, and how a 30-seat lounge ended up changing the way people drink around the world. So JJ is going to bring us into the overall history of La Cava de Tequila. He shoddied this first before I could respond in our group chat of I'll take historical context.
That's called being a man of action. So La Cava del Tequila opens in 2009. So what year do I think I start my story in?
82.
1982? Nope. Sean, what about you? What year do you think?
I think 2009.
No, the year is 1616.
1616.
Just a little off.
The house and gardens of Nuestra Senora de Santa Ana is built by Hernando Aragones, who is the first owner of many of a property that will eventually be called the San Angel Inn. So this land, the building and property, it keeps getting expanded over the years as it's like exchanging hands until about 1909. At this time, it's acquired by the San Angel Land Company, which is actually an American company. And they spend the next year turning that house and that ranch and that property into a hotel proper. They dub it the San Angel Inn in 1907, which is still there to this day in Mexico City, and still called the San Angel Inn.
That would be cool to see.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So in 1955, the hotel is actually acquired by a musician and writer named Carlos Prieta. He hosts some concerts there, and then he ends up actually lending the space to the Jesuits, who use it as part of their college campus for the Universidad Iberoamericana, which they use it for their school of architecture, design, art, history, that sort of thing. But it's only used as a school for a short time before 1963, where it is bought by a family, the Debler family, and the San Angel Inn is converted into a restaurant. And this is where it really thrives. It kind of very quickly becomes a must-see, go-to tourist destination kind of restaurant. So like a comparison would be like maybe Commander's Palace in New Orleans, or like the Old Pink House in Savannah, where it's like, oh, you're going here, this is like a classic staple restaurant that is like something that you like kind of carve out your trip to like get a reservation there kind of place. So it builds that reputation. It's now the late 70s leading into 1980, and Disney has not only announced Epcot, they announced a World Showcase and have announced that there is both a Mexico pavilion and a Canada pavilion, and that they need partners to help operate those spaces. Disney Imagineers actually go to Mexico looking for these partners. On their trip, they go to the San Angel Inn. They approach the owner, who is, the Debler family, and the dad, who's kind of running the show. He's hesitant, to say the least. He says, thanks, but no thanks. I believe most of that is due in part because they were basically saying, hey, if you say yes, you have to come to Florida and you have to be really involved in making this happen yourself. So he says, no, I love Mexico. I've got too much of a good thing going here with my restaurant. Thanks, but no thanks. And the Imagineers, the team that was there to try to convince him, they give him a little gold Mickey, which he promptly throws away. The guy's son, Richard Debler, found the Mickey in the trash, heard the story, and decides.
So, JJ, what is this Mickey? Is it like an actual Mickey, or
is
a
little
it like
statue, like a 1 or 2 inch statue, little golden Mickey, like a paperweight or something.
Interesting. Okay.
And he threw it out. So his son, who's like somewhere between, let's say, like 19 and 23, like young adult, he finds the Mickey, says, what is this thing, to his dad. His dad explains to him and why he said no. And Richard, he decides he's going to take matters into his own hands because he kind of sees this as like, this is the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. Disney calls and says, we want you. And you're going to say no? You're going to say they're going to find some other place and they're going to be so much more successful than us. Like you have to say yes to Disney. So he calls Disney, and him and his family and Disney all figure out that he should go and show them the ropes, and he's going to lead the U.S. side of things when it comes to operating the Mexico Pavilion. They're gonna let his son Richard Debler be in charge of that. And you know what? I think it would be accurate to say that Richard was correct to believe that this was a once in a lifetime experience. Because not only does he help open the San Angel Inn in the pyramid of Epcot, he operates almost every Mexican restaurant on property. If it's Mexican leaning food or beverage options, he is in charge of it, and he's which is just crazy. So Frontera Cocina, Maya Grill, almost all of the Coronado Springs, like Rick's Sports Bar, like basically everything that's not in Gran Destino Tower or the Three Bridges Bar is operated by him, by this group, the Palmas Restaurant Group, which is just insane to think. All of the Mexican restaurants and facilities are also under this Palmas group. But of course, for Cinco de Mayo, there really isn't a better place that's part of this Palmas group to highlight than La Cava del Tequila, which is still operated and owned by the Debler family. The Palmas group is still a family-owned company. Richard Debler, now Richard Debler Sr., and his son Ricky kind of run the show for that company now. And it's really interesting to see them operating 13 restaurants in Disney World, really being an ambassador for Mexican culture and kind of that middleman between Mexico and the Disney company. But obviously, we have to get to 2009 and it opening. So, Andrew, how does that happen? How does the little corner that is the Arribas Brothers crystal glass thing that was in the pyramid in that spot before La Cava, how does that go retail space into, possibly the most popular bar in all of Walt Disney World?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to talk about the Arribas glass blowing, right? If you've ever been into the Mexican Pavilion today, the Arribas Brothers location called La Princess de Crystal is still there, but it's on the left-hand side when you walk in, right between the gift shop and the entrance to the ride there, the Grand Fiesta tour. So they were originally, as JJ said, over on the other side, on the right-hand side, where we now find La Cava de Tequila. One thing I found interesting about this is that this is the same owners and group that does all the glass blowing in Disney. So they have locations, as you might know, in Magic Kingdom at Crystal Arts, and then they have a place in Epcot, not only in Mexican Pavilion, but also in the German Pavilion. The Crystal Shop in the German Pavilion is also by them.
With that really expensive Cinderella castle?
Yes,
that too.
Yes, those guys.
They're also in Disney Springs. They're in Anaheim. They're all over Disney, Tokyo, Paris. So they're all over the place. But we're focusing on La Cava. So the idea of having a bar in general was a little bit of a not very new, because Epcot had been selling alcohol, but primarily it was beer and wine. That was what Epcot dabbled in, and they didn't really have these lounges and bar areas like we do today. They had restaurant bars, the bar specifically for the restaurant, but there wasn't like a dedicated bar lounge space. And so something that I always think, like, what we really think of drinking around the world today kind of grew out of this La Cava de Tequila, or any really the other lounges, whether it's Abacadab Bar, right? That I don't think you get that without having La Cava de Tequila first.
Yeah, there is something interesting about how hyper themed La Cava is. It's such a good encapsulation of what it's trying to do, that without La Cava, Abracadabra doesn't happen, Nomad Lounge may not happen. Like all of these places that seem so obvious, and these hyper themed, really well curated, high quality offerings La Cava is the innovator for this type of Disney bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like having a Disney lounge bar in general. But then when you think about a tequila specific bar was extremely risky,
Right.
to have it at Disney, or even really for Americans in general. At the time, cognac was a better seller than tequila in the United States.
Wait, cognac was a better
yes.
seller than tequila.
Yes. Than
Like
tequila.
Hennessy?
Yes.
So Hennessy is more popular than Jose Cuervo
Yeah,
in
most
2009. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. That's crazy.
America's kind of thought of tequila as like mixer, like a mix type of thing.
2009 is the year that we all turned 21.
That's true.
And
Right.
so obviously we've never touched this stuff before then.
Right.
No, not at all.
But we do have memories of drinking in 2009, and there was a lot more Cuervo than Hennessy.
We were
around.
poisoning our insides with Four Loko and Tilt and juice.
Oh, should we do an episode on vintage loco? ReedyGeeks@gmail.com. What was Four Loko like?
But I think this really could have only happened at the Mexican Pavilion. This new style of lounge and bar, because like JJ was saying, this is third party owned, right? So the family comes up with this idea of bringing like a 100% agave spirit experience to Disney and to share that with their customers at Disney. And Disney doesn't really love the idea at first. They think it's a big mistake. They actually make the La Cava de Tequila. They force everyone to drink the drinks there. They don't want anyone to leave with the drinks at first. They have handlers that are making sure that you're not exiting the space with a drink.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
We went only a few months after this
I was
place
going to say
opened.
2010 January.
We went in January of 2010
That is
to La
insane.
Cava del Tequila, and there are pictures of us sitting down.
Sitting in there, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's because they made us drink them there.
Well, it wasn't as popular too, so it wasn't hard to get.
We walked right in
Right.
and got a table
Yeah.
because it
Right.
was so new. Talk about like if you had a time machine, where would you go in Disney history? Maybe La Cava del Tequila opening day. That might be one of the best times to go back to.
Well, they're all in on this, and I mean, obviously, it works out, right? I mean, we have now Tudo Gusto, right? We have, like I said before, Abacadabra. You're gonna lead to a lot more drinking experiences, and it really does change the way people view World Showcase now with this type of establishment here.
It's quick service alcohol. It's a whole new type of. It's not having to go to a restaurant that has a bar that you can sit at. It's going to a quick service window and ordering a margarita.
Well, it's also a high quality premium
right.
offering.
Also that, yes.
That is more flexible because you don't have to sit down at a restaurant and have a meal with your nice drink.
Right.
You can just order a drink and have it be a really high quality one and not just a beer or not just some batched frozen margarita from a stand. It is a high quality beverage.
Yeah.
Made by people that know and care about the art of making a drink, or in this bar's case, tequila itself. Like they care, they are very passionate about tequila in that bar.
So, and you can see that even in the like conceptual story of La Cava. So the bar is designed to represent a private cellar, Cava, right? And it's supposed to be where the owner would take their most like esteemed guests to celebrate with their finest spirits. And that's one of the reasons why, like, or at least That's one I was gonna say. That's one of the reasons why it's such a small area. But maybe the small area came first, and then they developed the story around it. But it's less than 1,000 square feet. Like it's really not big at all. It only has 30 seats. That's its capacity.
Wow.
But they intentionally use like low ceilings to create a sense of intimate escapism, where they might like lose track of time over a while.
Oh, you'll lose track of time.
You can definitely lose track of time at La Cava del Tequila. How do you feel about the theme of this place? I know you're very anti-cave.
No, this is a good cave. This cave
is
is
an
a
okay cave.
How does this compare to Steakhouse 71 cave?
All right, Steakhouse 71, like the walls are bare when you're in that where you're seated.
There's a couple pictures of Walt with airbrush cigarettes.
Yeah, this is like the difference between Le Cellier and Steakhouse 71 as well. I'm more okay with Le Cellier because it's a highly themed cave.
You want them to embrace the caveness.
You want your cave
space
to have a good theme.
A good theme.
So Steakhouse 71 can rebrand themselves if they steer into the skid of being a cave.
Yeah, like if it's Steakhouse like Caveman, like Steakhouse.
Or if it's like maybe it's like the Igloo, and it's like they change it to be more Eskimo themed or something.
So back to La Cava. They have a signature mural. They have a giant mural inside their establishment, and it depicts the entire life cycle of tequila, from the growth of the agave plant to the cooking and the juice and the final distillation. Do you guys remember that mural?
Nope.
I do. I know that.
Sean, have you sat in there since 2010?
No.
You know what? I don't think I have either, but I have like re-poked my head around there while waiting. Like I'm in a group and one person's ordering. I've gazed around the place a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've sat in there though.
A Disney trip is not complete without a margarita from.
Are you saying it's a must do?
It might be a must do. But yeah, I'm very frequently just belly up to the bar, ordering my blood orange, and making my way out.
I like to sit down once in a while. Getting the chips and guac there is really good. They got great guac.
Nice little crunch before you have a big day ahead of you.
Yeah. So they did want to, especially early on when Disney wasn't really sold on embracing this alcohol environment and culture that was developing around World Showcase. Before that, they kind of wanted to really tie drinking to culture and kind of close the gap there. So that's where this ambassador program came from, the tequila ambassador role. And so this is supposed to be that this is more than just a drinking occasion. This is an educational moment, right? So when you go in there, you're not just tasting 100% pure agave tequilas, but you're also learning about them. And we all know that this works better when it's not Easter season or spring break or the holiday season in Disney. During those times, you're just in and out, and that's it. Like they're not going to be talking to you about anything. But during low times, or if you get the tequila tour, what's that called again? I did it. I forgot what it's called.
The La Cava experience.
You're the person I would ask.
Yes, sorry. The La Cava experience. Yes. If you upgrade, if you pay the gatekeeper for the La Cava experience, I mean it's a wonderful experience. I really enjoyed it. We did it for my birthday 2 years ago, and it was just it was fantastic. So anyway, that they do a very good job of not just making it about drinking, but also with a purpose, an educational purpose. And also, you're not just like having a beer and, oh, this beer happens to be sold in England, and so that's why we're selling it here. At the Rose and Crown. No, like these are really quality tequilas that are purposely picked out for this establishment. It's not it's not just like Jose Cuervo, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Sean, how about the impact on La Cava?
The impact, it's good.
Sorry,
Roll credits.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the ReedyGeeks podcast.
Calm down, Rover. I was only kidding.
If you polled 100 people and asked them their top 3 bars in Disney World, I'd guarantee you at least 90 people have this somewhere, if not one, in their top 3. It's one of the most, if not the most popular bar in Disney World, and it has gained such a reputation for a couple different reasons. And it's kind of ironic to say that a couple of the different reasons kind of go along with some of the things we talked about in our last episode, where, you know, it's a very heavily influencer based location. It's got, it has a lot of celebrity appearances. They have celebrity tastings and things that go on there. It is one of the things I love the most about it is it's a, like JJ mentioned, it's a quality made drink. They really take their time, you know, presenting these drinks for you, and they all look really nice. And it's a great drink to take a picture of and share it on your story. But I think why it became so big in a kind of a weird way, La Cava del Tequila, its fusion of the educational aspect of it with culture and a little bit of cuisine, it's kind of a reflection of what people wanted Epcot to be. You know, a combination of some education and some entertainment. And at the time when tequila wasn't, you know, I mean, we're not going back to the 1600s, but you had said that tequila wasn't a very popular spirit in America. It's introducing people to some newer things, and I think that it changed the game for Epcot. It changed the game for the World Showcase, and you know, where you go on the internet, you'll find different opinions on whether or not the drinking culture in Disney is good or bad. There's always opinions on either end of the spectrum, but you don't have drinking around the world without La Cava del Tequila. You just don't have it. You don't have that free-spirited, no pun intended, grabbing a drink and going on the way without La Cava del Tequila. And I think it's because Epcot does such a good job of blending drinking with culture. You're not just going from country to country to country getting Bud Lights. You know, you're going from country to country to country. Maybe you're not always getting something you can't get anywhere else, but for the most part, you're looking at that menu and you're looking for something that might be from that country. That might be a liquor or a beer or a wine or a sake that you're not getting anywhere else where you live. You're getting it here because it's here because it's from that country. And I think La Cava del Tequila just kind of exploded that concept of introducing not new ways of drinking, but new opportunities and new experiences of drinking to people that were interested. And it's slowed down time during COVID. It was takeout or to go. You couldn't really sit inside. And I think its reopening is kind of, people missed it. And I think it's become a huge hit just in the last 5 to 8 years. I think it's really exploded in popularity to the point where you're waiting a half hour. And as much as we say it's not worth waiting a half hour for a certain food or drink item, I will happily wait 30 minutes for a Cava del Tequila margarita. And it just has this reputation amongst Disney goers and Disney adults, because obviously, you know, the children aren't drinking El Cava del Tequila, but it has this reputation as just one of the best places to get a drink in Disney World, and it's well earned. I don't think it's overrated. I don't necessarily think it's underrated. I think it's very properly rated as just one of the best experiences you can have for a lot of different reasons, but one of the best experiences you can have in Disney World.
Yeah. And something you had mentioned before that I wanted to touch on is that you had mentioned in each of these countries, there's something there that you couldn't get here in America, or rather it's a lot more rare here in America.
Yeah, or it's just such a good representation of that country itself, right?
Right.
Like, you can get a Hefeweizen anywhere.
Right.
But like a specifically culturally relevant German offering,
it's not a Huffbrow out of a can, or, you know.
Right. There is some thought and effort put into that. Even the drink, even the stand beer
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so and going back though to like when World Showcase opened and in '82, I mean, we've said this on the podcast before. There were experiences that people were having that you literally could not anywhere in America get anywhere else.
Right.
And I feel like in 2009, that was still the case for a lot of alcohol where like I think the best beer in America in the early 2000s is still like Sam Adams.
Sam
right?
Adams, yeah.
Yeah, that's still like the top beer, and like your imported beers, you're limited, your Heinekens, it's for them to be doing, high-end tequila in 2009 was great. But the fact that even today, with the level of globalization that we have, there's still so like exclusive to just Mexican tequilas that you are only going to find at La Cava when, I don't know, like everywhere else, like JJ said, you can get a Hefeweizen in a lot of beer distributors around America. But the tequila that you find there in La Cava de Tequila, yeah, that is very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would add its impact is obviously significant. We spoke about all these bars and experiences that don't exist without this place existing first.
Yeah.
It is one of the places, if you are trying to convert a drinker, right? If you this is a specific person, right? If you're trying to convince someone that's on the fence about going to Disney as an adult, but they like to drink, this is one of the places you say, oh, you really should go to La Cava, spend some time in there, talk to someone, because you'll learn something, you'll drink some tequila. Like, it's an experience in itself.
Yeah.
That is one of those things where it's like, oh, I can't believe that's in a theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Also, like, think like, our friend Becky, she went to, the voice of Mickey Mouse had a signature drink there. Jordan Fisher, the voice of Happily Ever After, he's had a signature drink there. Neil Patrick Harris has had a signature drink there. The Breaking Bad guys.
I was going to say, have the Dos Hombres guys had, yeah.
They go and do fun events there because it's a cool place that cares about agave-based drinks.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that is just in a theme park.
And could that happen if they weren't third party owned? Like, would that have ever
it absolutely
happened?
would not have happened.
Yeah.
If
that's interesting.
If without the Debler family, without it being the Palma group, it does just cannot happen.
Like, I mentioned Avocadabar before. That doesn't open without La Cava, I think, as leading the way. Tudo Gusto, it doesn't open. Even Spice Road Table doesn't have the bar section.
It's going to have a bar with to-go drinks. It might still be a restaurant called Spice Road Table, but they're not going to be a drink-forward space with a nice bar with really great drinks. That's not going to happen without La Cava.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we're just seeing it happen more and more with, more theme too. Because now that Disney's getting in on it, they're like, well, we're going to make it Disney.
They're upping the theme ante, yeah.
Yeah, except for GO82.
GO82, yeah, but GO82, the theme is I'm inside Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Well, that's progress for you.
Is La Cava del Tequila's success part of Trader Sam's? I mean, well, really, Trader Sam's West Coast is responsible for Trader Sam's East Coast.
But the idea of bringing more drinking to Walt Disney World,
dedicated drinking spaces is without La Cava del Tequila's success. Because look, Disneyland, we say it all the time. Disneyland is more of a locals park. It's people that are coming in for the day, and that lends it to be a more varied age crowd.
Right.
Disney World is catered to families. It's catered to a nuclear family where it's 2 adults and 2 kids, and that is their prototype customer. So how they've transitioned to offering these spaces, La Cava probably has a lot to do with that, right? La Cava's success.
Yeah. And I think that originally Disney was probably thinking that people aren't going to want to spend significant portions of their vacation time, at a bar, right? And they're going to want to be. But to your point, JJ, like in Disneyland, because it's locals, they've done all the rides before, and they want to go there and drink in a themed atmosphere. And just looking up, I thought this was the case, but Trader Sam's opened in 2015. So,
yes, yeah. But the Trader Sam's in the West Coast opens a little sooner, like 2012.
Oh yeah, that opens earlier. Yeah, but to the point we're making, does La Cava lead the way?
Probably some.
Trader Sam's in the Polynesian is only 10 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought that was in existence for so much longer.
No, it was an arcade until like 2014.
Wow. I learned something today.
Yeah. It was March 28th, 2015.
Wow.
A lot of what we like kind of came out in the 2000s there.
But we can point a finger right back at ourselves for embracing La Cava in 2010.
Good job, guys.
Gotta pat ourselves on the back for that one, right?
All right, so that is La Cava del Tequila. If you've never been there, make sure to stop in there and your next trip down. It's not a must-do, but
it'll elevate
that joke
your
lands
trip
if you listen to the previous episode. By the way.
It'll elevate your trip experience, but it won't ruin your day if you don't, or if the line is too long. It's okay,
especially because some of the margaritas you can just get outside of the pavilion.
No,
I know they're batched.
Don't promote those margaritas.
Yeah, they're batched and they're not as good.
That line is just as long. The Choza de Margarita, that line's just as long as the to-go line at La Cava, and you do not get near as good of a beverage.
Yeah, man, that Golden Mickey was their golden ticket.
Ricky Sr. certainly knew what he was doing.
Going through the garbage.
Going through his dad's garbage.
What was he looking for that he just happened upon the Mickey in the garbage?
No, I think my guess is that it was just sitting on top of the trash can. Like, it was just the highest thing. And you go, why is there like some little gold thing in the trash can? Yeah. Thinking his dad's throwing away money. And he was. It's throwing away a business.
a lot of it.
It was throwing away
future money.
Yeah.
Generational welfare.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Too bad he's not reading the help wanted ads.
Okay, guys, I'm looking at the time here. We have to have time for a game, right?
You would think that, but I've actually been drinking tequila this entire time. And I'm just kidding, FCC.
I don't think the FCC cares about that. I think we reward our listeners for the first time in a long time by giving them a short episode.
What?
Sean, want to take us out?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the ReedyGeeks podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Any questions, comments, concerns, future titles, or topic ideas, email us at reedygeeks@gmail.com and check us out on all our socials at ReedyGeeks. We'll see you next time.
Don't tell them the actual record the raw footage time. You're going to be in a lot of trouble when that time is like 10 minutes shorter.
And you can take that out. I bet you this is the send-off right here.
Bingo.
He teed it up.
This week's Honest Send-Off comes courtesy of the Geeks. If you have an honest send-off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, reedygeeks@gmail.com. ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopey, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage!